Setting up your COVID pass on your phone takes around 30 minutes. The time-consuming bit is the second stage where you have to prove your identity. It took me 4 attempts for my identity to be accepted. There are some tips in this video based upon my personal experience. I have an Android phone, so I visited Google Play Store and installed the NHS app. Do not install the NHS COVID-19 app, which is the test and trace app, but it does not do the COVID pass. Open the NHS app. And tap on the button to log in with your NHS login. If you don't have one, you'll be able to create one. The NHS app can do a lot of things, but top of the list is the COVID pass. Accept all the cookies, otherwise I suspect that this message will appear on all screens. Enter the email address that you used for your NHS login, or if you're creating an NHS login, the email address that you want to use for your NHS login. Even if, like me, you already have an NHS login, the system needs additional information listed on this screen to link your NHS login to your health records. If you don't know your NHS number, there is some additional information on where to find your NHS number. Since I already have an NHS login, I just entered my password followed by the security number texted to my phone. I know my NHS number, so I entered my NHS number, but there is also an option to enter your name. Enter your date of birth and postcode. The system was then able to find my health records, which are now linked to my NHS login. I wanted to allow the NHS app to send me notifications. I also wanted to use my fingerprint to log into the NHS app. That was the easy bit. The tricky bit is proving your identity by sending a photo of your driving license or passport and a short video of you saying some numbers so that the system can compare the photo and the video to verify that it is the same person. Both photo and video therefore need to be pretty good quality. This was my 4th attempt to verify my ID, and I've discovered a few things. My tablet has a better camera than my phone, so I took the photo on my tablet and transferred it to my phone. So here I selected Upload a Photo and selected the correct file. I also discovered that changing contrast, brightness or otherwise editing the photo of my driving licence didn't work. I took the successful photo on a flat, horizontal surface in a very bright room. This can either be natural light or artificial light, but make sure there are no reflections or bright spots on your driving licence or passport. The video requires you to say or sign or write down 4 numbers. I'm going to say the numbers. I wrote down the 4 numbers on a scrap of paper because this was my 4th attempt and the 4 random numbers are different each time. I hit a problem because when I tapped Open Camera, my phone did not switch to camera, but went to the media file selector. I guess this was because I'd used this media file selector to select the image of my driving licence. To get around this problem, I used Android's task switcher to switch to the camera app. If you have just taken a photo of your driving licence, make sure you switch the camera to video mode. When recording the video, make sure that you hold your phone up so that it is at the same level as your face. My failures may have been because I was holding the phone too low and then the video was getting a good view up my nostrils. Then use the task switcher again to switch back to the NHS app, which of course will be showing the media file selector. Make sure that it's showing videos and select the video file that you have just recorded. The app asks you to watch the video to check it, and then you can upload it and submit the photo and video for automatic verification. After about 10 minutes, you will hopefully receive an email from the NHS informing you that the photo and video have passed their checks so that you can now access your COVID pass. You may be unlucky and receive an email like the one on the right. If you do, you will need to go back and submit both the photo of your photo ID and the video again. I recommend taking a new photo, and you will need to do a new video anyway because you will need to say different numbers. When your ID has been checked, you can go back to the home page of the NHS app and you will now have the option to get your NHS COVID pass. You will get the option to download a domestic or a travel COVID pass. Let's have a quick look at the domestic COVID pass. This displays a 2D barcode on screen that I assume will be scanned before you are allowed access to certain venues. The COVID pass also has an expiry date. There is also an option to download a PDF copy. There is also an option to receive an email. I guess both the PDF and the email could be used if you do not have a mobile signal on your phone, or you could print it out. You can also review your COVID vaccination and testing records. This shows not just the date of your test, but also detailed information such as the batch number and where you were vaccinated. The travel COVID pass is a bit different. There is no 2D code on screen, but if you click on Show Details, then you do get a 2D code on screen for each of your doses of the vaccine. And again, there is an expiry date and a note at the bottom that states that the expiry dates are updated each time you log on. Same as the domestic pass, there are options to download a PDF copy of the COVID pass or to get an email copy of the pass. I hope this video is informative about how the COVID pass works in the NHS app and helps you to prove your identity with the NHS app the first time and avoids the multiple failures that I had. Thanks.